Well, good morning, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you're listening around the world. A very warm welcome from London in the UK. And here is today's news in electric cars and the future of transport. My name is Martin Lee, and this is your EV News Daily for Monday, the 5th of March 2018. Coming up on the show today, Europe's flush with ultra-fast chargers and Nissan's win with range extenders. But first, on the podcast recently, we were talking about the supercar maker Koenigsegg and how the founder of the company was thinking about how to electrify their cars following his experience of how impressive the instant torque is of electric motors. Well, now maker of exotic cars like the Zonda, supercar maker Pagani is getting involved, or perhaps I should say hypercar maker. I think that's what they're up to now. They seem to have a separate team of EV specialists working quietly away at Pagani on their very first electric car. However, don't start saving for a deposit just yet. It's due in 2025. More details were revealed in an interview with Argentinian TV channel El Tres when Horacio Pagani talked about the forthcoming electric car. Of course, their competitors like Rimac and McLaren and some others are well ahead if Pagani are still 7 years away from a pure EV. Maybe something got lost in translation. He also gave his opinion of autonomous driving and said it'll never be part of a Pagani as his cars were built to be driven. Well, with makers like Pagani moving electric, there's really no other segment left standing. Major public transport's moving electric. Obviously, we've got SUVs and sedans and hatchbacks and estates. And okay, so there's probably not too many off-roaders. They're coming very soon. And in America, obviously, the truck segment is huge, and that's in the UK here. We just don't have pickups and trucks really on the roads, apart from if they're working vehicles. I guess that's the next one to really fall. But just about everybody is electrifying their models now. Well, the Global Times is reporting that China's first solar-powered superhighway is expected to have EVs running on it within the next 4 years. This is a 6-lane motorway, or highway, whatever you call it, which is going to be made from solar panels that they're going to charge the electric cars as well as they pass over it. I'm guessing induction charging being used there. Now, immediate thoughts turn to autonomous driving and ride-sharing. Both sectors are getting huge investment. You read something every day about those two sectors being invested on in China, as it would rule out having to plug in a car which effectively never has a driver to plug it in. So rather than the car then having to, on autonomous driving, take itself back to some sort of induction plate to charge, the roads will be charging the car. Well, the road's going to be a smart expressway, which they say will use an adaptive road environment for automatic driving to communicate with the cars and for all the cars to communicate with each other, and that will reduce damage from traffic accidents as well. China's first solar motorway was opened for testing in December last year in 2017. However, it was only 1 kilometre long, but it is being used as a test case for this almost 200-kilometre stretch within the next 4 years. It has had some early teething issues. I'll give them that. The solar road was vandalised as people stole bits of it just after it opened. That's something that'll need to be looked at. Well, for the purposes of this podcast, let's call Mazda's legendary high-revving engine the rotary engine. Although if we are being historically correct, we should be calling it the WANKEL engine. Well, it was last seen in the Mazda RX-8 in 2012, and it's coming back thanks to electric cars. And as you may know a little bit about combustion engines, unlike pistons which move up and down, the rotary engine, well, yeah, you get it. Mazda's Vice President of Sales and Customer Service in Europe, Martin ten Brink, confirmed the rotary's return, but said it would be a single-disc engine, only used as a generator or range extender. It is said to be around the same size as a shoebox. Tiny, right? And just like batteries in electric vehicles, Mazda are going to put it down low in their EVs to keep the centre of gravity down low. One of the benefits of the rotary engine is the lack of vibrations, so that would lend itself to a range extender in an EV. Well, Mazda's new electric car and rotary generator package are all part of their Zoom 2030 plan. The rotary engine will be optional as a range extender. It is being offered only to ease customer concern over range. Mazda don't think range anxiety actually exists, but they're going to do this, Rex, just to convince people to buy their cars. Now, Brink also says the range extender is not necessary because, I quote, the average buyer travels 37 miles, 60 Ks per day from home to work and back again, end quote. Yep, we knew that one. So just like Toyota have committed to a combustion engine future, Toyota are electrifying as well, but they want to do it by burning fossil fuels. Fellow Japanese Mazda also see a long future in engines, but slightly more aligned with EVs. Well, coincidentally, on the subject of range-extending systems, Nissan have their e-Power system introduced last week in their people carriers for the Japanese markets after first being seen in the Nissan Note in 2016. This is the Serena people carrier in Japan. Their global chief planning officer, Philippe Klein, told Automotive News that e-Power is going to be coming to the USA as well as an optional extra. Also, the Infiniti premium brand that Nissan own are going to get e-Power soon. Now, the e-Power combines an engine, an inverter, and an electric motor all at the same time. It's similar to the Chevy Volt, if you like. It's a small combustion engine working as a generator. That charges the battery, and the battery then powers an electric motor which turns the wheels, like the BMW i3 Rex. It never actually turns the wheels, although I think I've read something somewhere that in exceptional circumstances, the Volt can transfer some power of the engine to the wheels. Someone listening to this now will know more than I do. Unlike the Volt, however, the Nissan e-Power systems at the moment can't be plugged in. So you only get your power from the fossil fuels that you burn. The Serena can do almost 2 miles in EV mode only, and although you're still burning fossil fuels, it does mean the engine operates all the time in its most efficient range and power band. Now, the 1.7 kilowatt hour battery is not a patch on the Leaf's 40 kilowatt hour power pack and 110 kilowatt motor, but then again, it's a lot cheaper as well, and it makes the car far more efficient, and your miles per gallon range goes through the roof. So 65% of all Nissan Note buyers are opting for the e-Power package, according to Nissan. We will add this to the list of soft hybrid options. Well, one of China's leading EV makers, BYD, has plans not only for their cars, but also for batteries and associated energy storage solutions. At the Battery Japan 2018, BYD's Battery Group Managing Director, Tom Xiao, said, "We are pouring billions into creating the cleanest possible products because it's essential for us to live and breathe better," end quote. Well, last year, BYD sold around 130,000 cars, new energy vehicles, they call them in China, ranking them number one in the global new energy vehicle sales for the third year in a row. Now, BYD's battery plans include second life applications in storage, but they also want to take a lead in decommissioning used EV batteries by having automated factories which take the batteries apart and use the parts. And finally, let's talk about another rapid charging network in Europe. Or is it an ultra-fast charging network? Is there an official term now for 350 kilowatt chargers? I don't know. Well, the first one was Ultra E, that had a load of backers from BMW to Renault and Audi and more. Then Allego launched another network called Mega E with 300 ultra-fast stations. These are the 350 kilowatt chargers, right? Then Renault, who's already involved in other projects, launched their own in southern Europe. And now Fastneds are going to get on board with those ultra-fast chargers, teaming up with ABB, who you'll have heard of if you watch Formula E, because they're the sponsor, the partner of that. They already operate a load of fast chargers in Europe, mostly in the Netherlands, and they've been expanding pretty quickly. Their first 350 kilowatt station is going to be near Amsterdam. This report's coming via the team at Electrek. So, chicken and egg kind of thing. There are no EVs yet that can charge at 350 kilowatt, but there's now 5 networks in Europe that all want to build out hundreds of ultra-fast chargers to make sure that they are future-proof ready. It's It's kind of interesting, right? Well, thank you for listening today. Hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to spread the word about electric cars, so please do share this with at least one person who might be interested. Listen to all of our previous podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and also if you want to download the Amazon Echo Alexa skill, you can do. Just search EV News Daily. Oh, by the way, if you are on iTunes, you wouldn't believe how much importance they put on ratings and reviews. So if you get a chance to scroll down the bottom and just give it a quick rating, that takes a second, a quick review, like 20 seconds, but no worries if you don't have time. It would really help out. Come and say hi on Twitter at EV News Daily. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow.